Hello, you are locked into Revive FM 94.0 on the Power Hour with Louise Power. This show is about community matters, diversity and inclusion, a platform for women, leadership, entrepreneurship and inspirational stories. And today on this show, I'm celebrating women. It is also Cancer Breast Awareness Month. And I would like to introduce two very special guests that I know very well and that I have on the show today. I'm so honoured to have you ladies. I have Miss Nadia Collier in the studio and I have Miss Amanda Henry. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. Thank you. It's good. It's good.
I know.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so exciting. I was trying to talk to Nadia before the break and the music was in her ears. I was like, I can't hear you. No. Honestly, I'm really honoured to have you both here. It's going to be a really special show. I've asked everybody to plug in, to lock in. It's going to be a very inspirational show today. These two ladies have got an amazing story. They're phenomenal women. Today is all about phenomenal women, and they certainly are two very extraordinary women that I know. And for some time, I've really been wanting to, in different ways, get them both on the show to talk about their story. But today, finally, it's happened post-COVID. So would you like to introduce yourself, ladies, just to the audience, just in no particular order?
So I am Nadia Collier. Is that all you need?
No. I am Nadia Collier. And yeah, where are you from, Nadia?
I am from East London. Born in Leytonstone, raised in Chingford. I work for Hackney. I'm a mother of 3. Anything else?
Might have to put your mic a little bit closer. I think we've got a studio manager coming to tell us. Yeah. and what about yourself, Amanda?
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. Again, just like Nadia, mother of 3, born and raised in East London as well. And currently I work for Peabody Housing as a community developer.
Excellent. So we've got community work. Both of you actually have got both of you working in the community with people. You're both people persons. And I would really like to find out a little bit about your backstory. What brings you here today? Because I know you've both got very extraordinary stories about some things that you've overcome in life. You're both cancer survivors and uniquely just awesome, amazing people. So if you could just give us a little bit of about your backgrounds, your backstory.
Okay. So where do you want me to start?
Exactly.
Which part do you want?
Yeah, it would just be really good to find out a little bit about where you was at the time.
Okay.
In your life.
Okay. So I came here because I think what you're doing is amazing. Your show is amazing. And I just wanted to be a part of it. So my journey with breast cancer, I literally was in my kitchen doing cleaning in my pajamas, felt my breast, a bit like, oh, there's a lump. Went to the GP. 2 weeks later, went to the hospital for a scan. After the scan, I had a biopsy. Saw a consultant. They were like, no, you're fine. You'll be fine. You're so young. We'll give you your results in 2 weeks, but you'll be fine.
They dismissed you kind of thing.
Kind of tried to reassure me that you're young. So we're not too worried. Yes, we need to check it out, but we're not too worried. Went away. About a week later, I obviously had mixed feelings. I was in the eyelash shop. Again, feeling,
right.
Casually
getting
your
day
lashes
off,
done.
getting my lashes done. About 7 days later, and feeling my breast. Obviously, I feel my breast a lot, clearly. And it didn't feel right. Obviously, there was still scarring from having the biopsy. It was still a bit sore, but it just felt strange. And I was thinking, oh, has it changed? Has it grown? Obviously, a lot of it was worry, but I was worried enough to say, right, I'm going to go. I'm not going to wait. I tried to call them, actually, and nobody answered. And decided just to go to Whipps Cross. Yeah. So
as an emergency?
No, I just went to the breast clinic.
Oh,
just
right.
To say,
okay.
No one's called me.
Yes.
Obviously, I wasn't invited. I didn't have an appointment. I just decided I'm going to go.
And before I forget the question, did is checking something that you done regularly, or was it just an off chance?
No,
at the time?
I didn't check at all. It was just an off chance thing. I think I was actually leaning on the side, turning over the channel on the radio,
Right.
and I just felt my breath. So yeah, so I went there and I basically said, I'm waiting for results. I'm a bit worried and I just need to see somebody. Didn't give them my name. I don't have an appointment. So they're like, okay, take a seat and we'll see if we can get someone to see you. So I was there for about 30 minutes and I see a breast nurse come out. And then the lady at the counter pointed to me. She came over. She basically said, oh, are you Nadia? And I was like, yes. She's like, well, I was going to give you a call, so you might as well wait. At that point, it was like, okay, well, they wouldn't tell me to wait if it wasn't something. So I was starting to panic a little bit. Sat there for about 45 minutes because obviously I didn't have an appointment. Went in, saw the same consultant that said to me, you're going to be fine. And the first thing he said was like, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And they basically said, you have breast cancer. It's early stage. We need to do lots of tests. Gave me a pack and said, we'll contact you in the next couple of days.
Wow, so nonchalant.
It was very nonchalant.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Very nonchalant. And I remember walking out.
Even though I've kind of heard this story from you before, it's like, listening to it again, it's like, how do you process that information anyway?
Well, I walked out and I was like, And I automatically thought of like soaps. And I thought, when you watch a soap, it's so dramatic. And I thought, well, this just feels normal. I was a bit confused. And I think I sat in outpatients for about 10 minutes, just trying to process in my head. And I think because they were so nonchalant, I was kind of nonchalant. And I remember I phoned my cousin and I told her, and I think she started to cry. And then it just all started to come out from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, but what about you, Amanda? Was your experience similar or very different? I know that your actual diagnosis was different as well.
So I was diagnosed with blood cancer. Where to begin with that? For about 3 months, I had a cough that never went. So it just was persistent prior to me being diagnosed. So what happened is I had a cough, and if you don't get sick, you know when something's niggling, it shouldn't be there. So went doctors, they just said it's a cough, it's going to go. Done my usual remedies, my ginger, my lemon, my honey, boil it down. Usually when I have a little tickle, it's gone in 2 days. It lasted for months, basically. Just a cough, like a small sort of, but often. So anyway, I decided to take myself to the hospital because I had a cough, a really heavy cough. And I was worried. I was like, it could be a chest infection. I don't know. So I went and had a chest x-ray. This was back in last year, round about July time, about July. And between July and August, my cough just got worse. So I did get the results saying that my lymph nodes were inflamed, but that's quite normal. A lot of things trigger that.
Well,
you don't really
get
think,
big, don't they?
Yeah. So I didn't think anything, but the cough got worse and I had a coughing fit at work and I ended up taking myself to the hospital. By this time they took it a bit seriously. And I ended up being in hospital for 6 days where I was secluded because they thought I had TB and all these other things, but everything came back negative. And then they sent me to get a CT scan. Again, they could see lymph nodes were inflamed. But I had like a mass of tissue, which they didn't know what it was. So basically from August last year, it took 16 weeks for me to be diagnosed with blood cancer.
16
weeks. And this cough turned into a 24-hour cough. So I was coughing for 16 weeks, non-stop, bringing up mucus for 16 weeks.
And I remember you saying it was hard to breathe.
I couldn't breathe. I mean, there's times I couldn't get out of bed. I was so weak. Because if you're coughing all day, you get weak.
And pain. You're in pain.
You're in pain. Oh my gosh, what? So I had 3 biopsies. So the first one I had is the one where they put the tubes down your throat and they go down and they take a sample of the tissue, of the mass tissue that was there, took it out. That came back inconclusive. You got to remember, when you have these biopsies, you have to wait 2 weeks for the result or more. Yeah. So I waited 2 weeks. Then that was inconclusive. So I had to have the next one. So they cut me here And then they went down again, took a sample. That came back inconclusive again. So I'm still coughing. They can't give me anything for the cough because they don't know what it is, what's going on with this mass of tissue. So by the third biopsy, they found cancerous cells within the tissue. And that's when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. But when I got diagnosed, I was already stage 4, which is the last stage. So literally, I mean, I'm a person that I'm not into all this chemo and stuff. I'm very quite into a lot of herbs. And during that time of the 16 weeks, I was on herbs doing stuff. So I wasn't just sitting in my bed trying to like. Oh,
you was already taking your own self-medicating.
Yeah, I was self-medicating with
organic herbs and
yeah. So when I got diagnosed, I was already stage 4, last stage of blood cancer. So I didn't want to take the option of just saying, okay, I'm just going to go with the herb route, because my children was like looking at me to say, Mum, we've got faith in the herbs, but right now you're stage 4. You need all the help that you can get in this battle. So I took so I done chemo. I got put on chemo the week after, straight away, intensive chemo. It was real intensive, but I think because of the herbs and everything I was doing, it was quite smooth sailing. I mean, I lost weight, but I lost the weight prior to chemo because of the coughing. I couldn't eat. I was mucusing up.
So everything, your normal routine, being able to do anything.
I couldn't.
Have a meal, enjoy a meal, nothing.
Couldn't enjoy meals. So I was, well, I'm small anyway, as you know, Louise. I've always been small.
We were talking about that.
As we came in. But
I was like, your figure is amazing, and it's always stayed amazing.
But I dropped to 6 stone 11. So 6 stone 11, I was like feeble and weak. But, just give thanks that I'm here today. I'm bouncing back.
Amen. We give thanks.
Yeah, we give thanks to life. And one thing in my journey, I realized that a lot of our community don't know much about cancer and we don't talk about it enough.
That's why I wanted to do the show today.
I'm telling you.
We don't talk about it today. Like, take away any kind of shame, take away any inhibitions, take away any thoughts of not wanting people to know our business, because if we don't share the information with our community about what's going on, then how do we pay it forward? How do we prevent and help other people? Like I was saying to you, was actually feeling around the breast, was that something normal? I know I can admit that that's not something that I used to do before. Like perhaps your experience and some of the other people that spoke to me, do you know what, this is something that I should do? You become conscious of it. That's when I'll ask you, ladies, and I'll start with you, Nadia, during this really, really difficult time of your life, because I can only imagine, ladies, what that felt like. Like I feel emotional even saying it, what you guys went through during that time. How did you hold on to faith? Like what did you do? What was your coping mechanism during that time of uncertainty? Because actually you don't know what is going to happen. How did you cope?
Sorry. For me, I found it really hard to cope. Not so much with having breast cancer, because when my results came back,
sure in the mic, baby.
When my results came back, it was a ductal carcinoma in situ. So basically, it was in a duct, which meant that it shouldn't come back that duct. You should be okay. However, tests, you need surgery. You got to have radiotherapy. So that side of things that I kind of dealt with. But I think I found it hard because I was really scared. Obviously, I am a mum of 3.
Yes.
They were a lot younger then. I hadn't done certain things in my life. So you do think, regardless of you being told, okay, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. What if you're not? But then I felt like I couldn't, because it was early stage breast cancer, you kind of reassure yourself by reassuring everyone else that, no, it's fine. It's just early stage. I'm so lucky, it's fine. But then that wasn't how I really felt. But I felt like I couldn't complain or I couldn't be too upset because you only have early stage breast cancer. And I remember I spoke to my consultant about how I was feeling. And he was like, but you still have breast cancer. Do you see what I mean? So the journey was like some days being strong, some days being like, well, am I overreacting? And then I think, as you said, sharing a story, because you trail the internet looking for stuff, looking for stories.
That's scary as it. Yeah, you can hear really scary things as well. It's quite dangerous. In one sense, it's so informative, but in another sense, it can mentally put you in like a negative space. Your people's got really sad stories and different experiences.
Totally. But then you also try to look for representations of yourself. So, like you say, where we don't talk about these kind of things, and we don't check our breasts, we just get on about our day. I made a page, and I think that was the thing that got me through it, because that allowed me to take everything that I was feeling inside about every single part of it and put it somewhere else. And then that also reassured everybody else.
Yeah.
So it kind of, that's how I got through it, by sharing that story and actually wanting, if anybody else was in the same position as me, they could see that and kind of know what they're going to go through, what their breast is going to look like after radiotherapy, being a black woman.
Yeah.
Because I searched internet for it and I couldn't find one black breast to know what I was going to look like. So for me, that's how I got through it.
So there needs to be more awareness then out there for black women about the before and after effects and what they can do in terms of be prepared.
Yeah.
Because if you had seen some pictures or a consultant had like shown you something maybe, then you might not have had those anxieties as well.
Totally.
What about yourself, Amanda? What was your
did I do?
coping mechanism? How did you
well, first of
see
all,
yourself through that time?
When I was told, I already told myself that this is not taking me. So for me, it was mental straight away. Straight away, I said to myself, nice to see you, cancer, but you're not in this temple. You're not staying in this temple. So from the time that I left, I already mentally started healing myself mentally. So from there, because I was still coughing, I ended up getting myself some counselling because I just felt myself staying in bed because I was so weak, looking out the window, and I could feel myself. I was losing myself. I just felt I was getting
shadow of your former self kind of thing.
I'm in this bed and I'm looking at myself in the bed. So
wow,
I was like, no, I need to get some counselling, and that helped me just get through until I started the chemo as well, and throughout when I started chemo. What else did I do? Herbs. Now I know a lot of people might be a bit skeptical about herbs. I would say they were my saving grace. I mean, I was on soursop, I was on sea moss, I was on moringa seeds. I was also doing, I had a herbal sort of mixture created from a herbalist in Walthamstow, Julie, in the inn shop.
Right.
You know, I recommend everybody on that journey, you need to be having herbs all the way. What else? My family and friends. I mean, from when I was diagnosed, I had a team of people around me, from my family and friends.
It's all about the tribe, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, that ensured that every day, because I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in October last year, and by January it had gone.
Amen. Wow.
Herbs had killed it off. So trust me, mentally, physically, I started getting better as soon as I started chemo, and the doctors were quite amazed that I was getting better, because I was told that I would lose weight and basically I'd just be a week because it's intensive chemo. So I turned that all around, and it's your mindset.
It's your mindset.
Your mindset.
Yeah.
I told myself that it's not happening to me, and I just kept the faith within myself and manifested good health. And
it isn't just you guys as well. Being mums is like, because I know, like our children are our life. You know, they come first, even before us off. And even in those moments, I can imagine that you're thinking about the children before you're even thinking about yourself. Was there anything you was able to do in terms of coping between you and the children? Because obviously you had to keep them up as well during that time. And I know maybe it's not even something you thought about, but it's like...
Definitely. I mean, for me, I didn't tell my children for 23 days.
Oh, wow.
And I remember it was 23 days because I had a headache for 23 days.
Wow.
And then I just told them. And I think obviously you don't tell them because you want to protect them, but I told them, we cried, we spoke. And I think that was the best thing that I could have ever have done for them, and be totally honest, because then that removes their fear. Obviously, when you have children, especially when you have being kids ourselves, you would share things with your brothers and sisters. You would go and talk about your worries, and that's how you cope. So they had each other. And by making them a part of it, like they came with me to radiotherapy. That's
they was there. They saw you for your good and your bad days.
Yeah,
and you was able to lean on each other as well. Because it's for children. It's like,
yeah,
they
just have
just
to be honest.
You just have to be honest.
Certainly. Same for me. I told my children straight away, because you got to remember they waited 16 weeks for a diagnosis. So I couldn't delay anymore. They were waiting literally for me to come home and tell them that it wasn't cancer. So I had to just tell them straight away. We done all the crying there and then it was just like, action. Yeah, it was, but it's emotional. But luckily, the children were teenagers, so it was easier for me personally to talk to them and just know that I've got them by my side, and they were excellent. Because remember, for the 16 weeks, I was so weak that they were looking after me for 16 weeks. Yeah. So
do you see post the cancer now and everything that you've been through? Do you see them as little warriors now? Do you see them as different little human beings now?
Yeah, I mean, they're quite. What did they say to me one time? That they find it a bit strange because they thought the worst was to come.
Yeah. But the better came in the end.
It was like Mum was ill. She got a diagnosis. And we're expecting.
You're an inspiration, both of you. You're
it was
to
kind
children.
of So they're like, well, we was expecting you to be bedridden. We can't touch you, and it was just the opposite. Yeah. Whereas they done the hard work. They did the hard work from the 16 weeks. Yeah. When I couldn't cook, I couldn't walk. I could.
One thing I know about both of you. One thing I know about both of you, I'm not surprised about the courageousness, because you're both really instrumental in community. You're both, you do a lot for people as well. Yeah. So it'd be really good to talk about that, because I know you're both entrepreneurs in your own right. You both had businesses. Nadia, you've been on different platforms speaking about the things that you do. I know that you do some things in the community. You do lots of things in the community in terms of, you had. Roller skating and everything else. So just in terms, just so that I can really put it out there about what you guys' achievements, it'd be good to hear about some of those things that you guys have been doing.
Well, I would class myself as learning to be an entrepreneur, even though I've done lots of different things. I think being a Pisces, I flit into one thing and then drift off into another, and it's all sunshine and rainbows, and I do too much sometimes, so that I don't settle in one place. But in terms of business-wise and the things that I had started doing, which was Bedside Matters, that was just simply born off of being in hospital, the amount of times that you have to be in hospital during that process, and also family. We spoke about family and friends. I had so much of my family and my friends. I had a timetable of people that were coming to the hospital with me. But I think one time when I had to stay, I noticed there was a girl and she didn't have no visitors.
Wow.
She had the hospital gown on. My mum would come with food, smell up the whole hospital. And it really touched my heart and made me think, I want to be able to give people in hospital
people that
the one thing that makes you feel better, which is your cooked dinner, your food, the home comforts. And that's where Bedside Matters was born. And I've tried different angles for it. Obviously, different angles to see which fits, whether it be cooking, whether it be baking. And I think I finally come down to how I can bring it back to life, which I'm not going to discuss that now. But and I think by just doing the things that I do in terms of supporting other people in their ventures, I think that's what gets me going. That's what I enjoy doing.
When you told me about Bedside Matters, I was really just blown away, because I thought to myself, so many people that are in hospital don't have a network of family and friends, anybody that can bring them anything. And also it's also about cultural foods as well. and different things that you're used to eating. So I thought that was just amazing idea. So when are we looking to hear more about that? When you're getting out there, basically.
Soon. It has been one of those things that kind of get you down.
Yeah.
And I think we have to remember we are human, we are parents, we have careers, and as much as we wanted to do certain things, there's so much other things going on in the world, and that's why Bedside Matters hasn't fully come to life.
Yeah, it takes time.
But as I say, I have positive people around me, and I feel like in the next few months, the ideas that I've been kind of given, in a sense, will come to life. And I think me accepting that, I need a bit of support.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any shouts out? Is there anything that you need, in terms of, partnerships or anything that on here that we can help you here at Revive on the Power Hour, where we can help you to make this visual, make this business come into fruition?
No, I would say just keep following my social media and I'll reach out.
Okay, I like it. Another thing, actually, before you go, we'll come back to it because I wanted to ask you about the what you've done with the young people.
Okay.
Yeah, and what about yourself, Amanda?
Well, I've been a community head from when I was in school. So I've done a few things, but my main venture was Let's Roll, which was the community roller skating company, which I think the whole of the borough knows. And south and north and west. That was a beautiful 5 years of just bringing roller skating, bringing people together, bringing young people, adults, intergenerational events, big events, small events. It was just amazing. It was just an amazing way to meet people and give young people a different avenue socially, and to come together no matter what postcode you are, because postcode we didn't know nothing about that. When we was doing roller skating, we had north, south, east, west, east, E10, E11, E17 all together.
Do you think that's what's missing then at the moment, like with the fact that there is so much going on out there in the streets with young people? Do you think that these kind of events in the community, in our communities, do you think that's what we might be missing? Yeah,
we certainly are missing. But it's having the right the right role models bringing forth the projects, because there's a lot of projects out there, but the face of the projects, they don't really connect with the young people.
Right.
So it's about really coming from the heart and finding things that they identify with to bring them to come together. So that was beautiful. So I've been off the scene for over a year now, but I've just got back into work, and I've just helped my daughters set up their own salon in Canary Wharf. So I'm back to what I do. I mean, project management, event management is my thing. But this project in particularly that my daughters are doing, it basically is a salon that has nails, lashes, hair, and what else? And makeup all in one space, and it's all the young entrepreneurs. So all the Instagrammers.
Where is that? That's great.
I'll give you some more information.
So all young people with their startup
So
companies.
basically, so all the entrepreneurs that are online working from home, they're now coming to the House of Bougie to work from there. So it's young people empowering each other. It's beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
And it's in lockdown. Amazing. I mean, it's happening. It's working. And
that is so good.
Yeah, so that's my daughters are doing their thing now.
I know exactly what you mean when you're talking about the role models, because if there's charities or whatever it is, and they are putting on something for young people, and then they can't identify other people that look like them, and more importantly, actually, you're from my background, you understand my story, you understand my struggle, you're from my ends or whatever, then they're not gonna. It's not gonna be attractive for them to being interested.
Yeah, they're not going to be.
But at the same time, the situation out there is so bad. It's like something has to be done. So we need these, we need a mixture of different multifaceted people involved. But at the same time, it's like, it's about trying to find that balance. And I know that, Nadia, you done some, I was just trying to actually look on my phone a moment ago to get the name of it. You've done an initiative with some young women, didn't you, around their monthly menstruation. And
Okay,
yeah, I was trying to look. That's what I was just trying to look for
the
just
Red
now.
Box Project.
Yeah, the Red Box Project. That's it. We're going to go into a break in a few minutes, but if we can just hear a little bit about that.
Red Box Project, it was about tackling period poverty. It was a project that was in place at my school but wasn't being used. I jumped on it because I thought I can definitely relate to not being able to afford sanitary products.
Yeah.
And the young people that I worked with, I definitely knew that you guys struggled in that area. Jumped on it, implemented in our school, made a big deal out of talking about periods, about the products, spoke to the people at Red Box, and they just asked me to be an ambassador for them. And I did a few shows, resulting in it getting the government rolling out funding in all schools for all schools to receive sanitary products for free for their girls.
So it's excellent.
It's so important. Like I remember, where was I when I had my period? I think I was in the school. At school, I think I was in the school toilet. I think something, and I was just like, wow. You know, it's happening. Like, and you know, at the time you're like, you don't know whether to go to the school office or. I think it was as dramatic as calling my mum to come and get me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, it's not that dramatic. Really.
Yeah, but it's a big thing.
But it's a big thing, right? And actually, but we need to go into a commercial break. You've been locked into the Power Hour. Please do not touch that dial. Please not touch that dial. We still have about 20 minutes left of the show. We'll be right back.
Thousands of people who suffered sexual abuse as children have now been heard.
Oh gosh.
It was wonderful to finally listen to.
The Truth Project,
when you start
part
talking,
of the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, will close in 2021. But for now, we're still here to listen, to hear your experience, and help create a safer future for children. Search Truth Project.
Did you know that girls like Noura walk an average of 3 miles every day in search of clean water to support their families? Minhaj Welfare Foundation believes you can end the water crisis by building small and large-scale water projects. Your charity is helping improve the lives of communities living in the poorest regions of the world. However, more needs to be done. Support Water for All. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Rosia Plumbing, the boiler specialists. We do new boiler installations, full house central heating systems, underfloor heating, boiler repairs, boiler servicing, and gas safety certification for landlords. With some of the best prices in town, there's no job too big or too small for our qualified engineers. For a free, no obligation quote, contact us now on 07956 282 948. Rosia Plumbing, the boiler specialists.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
People of Asian and Black ethnic origin are at an increased risk of COVID-19. Queen Mary University London has launched a research study called Covidence UK to find out why this is. If you are Black or Asian, we need your help to complete our studies. All you need to do is complete an online survey. Please help us to understand the coronavirus disease so we can develop tools to prevent it. Sign up at qmul.ac.uk/Covidence. Sign up and save lives.
I came over from the Caribbean on my mother's passport in 1962. So when my right to live here was questioned, it broke me. I was afraid, and to be honest, I was skeptical about calling the Windrush Help Team. But my husband persuaded me, and I'm so glad I found the courage. The team have been really great. Now I've got the right documents and compensation too. It doesn't change what happened, but it helped. To find out if they could help you too, visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
The new NHS COVID-19 app shows me my risk of coronavirus and helps me protect my mum.
It lets me know fast if I've been in contact with other app users who have coronavirus, so I can quickly warn Dan. It shows me the risk level in my area immediately, so I can tell soon.
It helps me protect all my loved ones, like Kim and Chris.
The more of us who get the app,
the better we can control coronavirus.
Protect your loved ones.
Get the NHS COVID-19 app.
Download now at Google Play or the App Store.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello and welcome back. You are locked into Revive FM 94.0 on the Power Hour with myself, Louise Power, and my guest today, Miss Nadia Collier and Amanda Henry. So before the show, both of these wonderful, beautiful ladies blessed us by telling us their story, their backstory about their survival with cancer. And I'm telling you, I was just telling them in their break that they just inspire me so much as they may think, actually, do you know what, this is an ordinary thing. I was saying to both of them, actually, this is extraordinary, because it isn't everybody that would, be able to sit here today and share that information with other people so that it's educational and so that other people can be inspired, so that they may be able to today save lives by giving out this really vital information. We also spoke about the impact on their children, and we spoke about their accomplishments as entrepreneurs and career women in their own right. And now we're going to be speaking about mental health and the impacts of mental health. And one of the things that they really want to do is get the message out there to other Black women and women in general about this whole being strong thing. And they want to talk about before the cancer and maybe some of the things that they was going through before diagnosis. So over to you, ladies.
So as we were
Into the mic, darling.
As we were saying in the commercial break, and it's Amanda's term that she was speaking about, being strong Black women, and us carrying that title of being strong Black women and having to be a strong Black woman, kind of being forced upon you in a sense because of what you have to do and what you have to go through. And I think we spoke about a Beyonce quote, which is strong enough to bear the children and get back to business. And that's what so many of us do. But in reality, we are going through so much. We're juggling so much. We're doing so much. For me at the time, I was working sometimes like 180 hours a month.
Wow.
And this was because I wanted to give my children certain things. I slept at work probably 2 to 3 nights a week. I would come home, cook dinner, have a rest, see the kids when they came home. I have my brother and sister-in-law helped me raise them. So I was doing that. Plus the stresses of just being single, managing everything. And I'm a true believer in stress is your biggest killer.
Wow.
And I was under so much stress. I mean, as I've said, people may know I have menopause now, and people think it's a result of having cancer. It's not. It's just something I have. And it started leading up to my breast cancer diagnosis. So I was hot flushing out. I was just so stressed. And then, I got breast cancer. So it's so important to
self-care, look after
yourself. And if breast cancer has taught me anything, it's like, Nads, just breathe. If it ain't gonna kill you, it will make you stronger. And if you can't deal with something, just put it to the side. Don't always try to manage everything.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself so seriously, because that's one thing I did. I took myself so seriously. I had, as we all do, self-esteem issues, confidence issues, and you just keep going and keep going and keep going, and it will break you down.
Right.
Because we all have mental health. So
that's hit home. That hit home for me for so many reasons. I'll tell you why after, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I like I said, initiating this talk about this strong Black woman syndrome. In reflection to having cancer, I had to start looking at myself and how did I contribute to the cancer maybe being here? And that strong Black woman syndrome, I really just dislike that term, because we as women, we take on too much. Like Nadia, helping running my own business, helping to run other businesses, looking after the house, bringing up the children, helping others. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm very giving and caring. So always trying to stretch for everybody else as well. All of this contributes to cancer because it's stress.
Yeah.
And if anything in my journey, I have changed a few things. I put me first. I'm a mum, but I'm Amanda first. I have to put me first, because if I don't put me first, it's not, I'm no use to anybody. So that's something that I do. I do me first, and I love it. Actually, I'm enjoying it. Also, I've learned to say the word no healthily. So I used to, before, I'd never used to like saying no to people. If you ask me something, I will do my 9 to 5 and come and do another 5 hours somewhere else. Now I have to take time and say, you know what? No, I can't do that. And just be, but don't, obviously I'm not being negative with the no. It's just a healthy no. If I don't feel like it, or I feel that I can't make the time, I just say no. Another thing is just balance of your work and your social life. You have to have a social life. You have to have a social life. If you're not having a social life, then you're not giving you food. You're not giving you food. So I'm into putting me first. I share my time with my children and my family, but I have to ensure that I am putting me first.
Yeah, I can imagine that actually after this experience, the things that used to seem really big to you probably are just made down to insignificant. And actually, I wonder, what about after? Was there certain people that had, I maybe tried the question a different way. Was everybody positive about the new year? Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because obviously you changed. So many things about you changed, and because you were saying you had to say no.
Yeah,
and that must have been different for some people that was used to you saying yes, I can do that. But after seeing everything that you've been through, then you know.
Yeah. For me, I didn't experience anything negative to me saying no. And if I did, then those people most probably ain't around me now anyway. Because in your journey, you will drop off people. Because you actually see who is there for you and who isn't. So that's a big eye opener. And then you realize people who you thought might not be there, they're the ones that's there 200%. So in my journey, I learned a lot about who's for me. You know, and I will always be there for them in the same way. But it was easy to just drop off certain people that just do not need to be around me. Because to me, when you've got somebody that's going through a cancer, and you're supposed to be there, you're a close friend or family. If you don't show that you are there for them, then to me that is the most vital time for you to show
that
that love
and care for someone.
So.
I completely agree, because I haven't had that situation, but in any other life situation, I can definitely identify that when the chips are down, that's when the time when you really see who's around you. And what about the fact that you guys did? So post the treatment and everything else, what does the future look like now then for you?
I don't know, but whatever it looks like, I feel like I'm ready to embrace it, because I've let go of so much baggage that I carried. That was just unnecessary baggage.
I'm gonna clap.
I have to clap to that.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be amazing no matter what happens, because you go through life worried about this, worried about that, and things happen and you get through them. And I think I learned to send positive signals to the universe. And as people, you'll probably, I don't know, I can only speak for myself, your faith is tested throughout your life. No matter what circumstance it is. But now I know that I have the faith. I have faith in a wonderful future.
And you said something in the break as well, because we was talking about mental health, and you said, sometimes I'm just not okay.
Yeah. And even though, I know that I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I have good things on the horizon, there are still times when I'm so not okay.
And that's all right. It's
okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
It's okay to not be okay. You know, ladies, when I started my business 2013, then I went and studied business, and then I got a place of business running around. Everything you were saying, I'm looking at you and I'm like, that's me. And I'm getting closer towards the table because I'm like, wow, you're talking to me, running around, picking up son, friends, family, doing it all, creating a business, studying. And actually, the lockdown that we had recently, even though I'd slowed down a little bit before that, breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Just breathe. No other choice.
Mm-hmm.
That had to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
My friend said to me the other day, she had a dream about me, right? She said, I had a dream about you. And you was running as usual. Hi, I'm on the way. Bye, see you later. I gotta go. In the dream. In the dream, I was doing, hi, yeah, I'll phone you later. Because that's basically, because I have goals and aspirations and things I want to achieve, and a prominent word that you guys said as well, single mother, single parent. That you mentioned, single parent. It's real.
Yes.
We are the nurse, we are the doctor, we are the mum, we are the cook, we are the baker, we are the everything. And then Manda was talking about self, me first. Actually, you know, do we book our dentist on time? Do we get to the hairdressers? Do we get to the eyelashes? Everything is just in 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, breathe, center ourselves, because we have to remember that we do come first. On the aeroplane, you've got to put your own oxygen first before you can put on anybody else's. So, and I learned some of these really, really valuable things when I was having really bad anxiety, when I was going through a time of stress. So, you know, it's so edifying to talk to you guys, and for me to realize that, you know, we're so similar. You know, it was not something that if I call you, not necessarily you can talk about that, but it's like, I'm not on my own.
Totally. And I would say, Louise, that as yourself, like you said, you go through issues, you go through things. So it's not having cancer. Yeah, I've had cancer, but I'm no different to the population of women in the world, especially the population of the Black woman. We are phenomenal, as you said.
Absolutely.
And we do so much, and it's not recognized enough. And I think we do need to stop, breathe, and recognize how phenomenal we are as women, and allow ourselves to be phenomenal, and allow ourselves sometimes to not be as strong as the world needs us to be.
Yeah. Yes, beautiful. That's beautiful. And Amanda, because we've got about 2 minutes left, and then we're going to wrap up the show.
Okay, so the future for me is just doing all my passions, because that's where the energy within me is, and it's empowering. And just try and do as much things that I didn't get to do prior to the cancer.
Yeah.
And just embrace,
you're taking
embrace everything, all the opportunities
it.
that I'm going through now that have come to me. I'm going to embrace them and just utilize them to the best I can, and just give as much love as possible. Yeah, because I'm a loving person, and I just want to share my love, my story.
Guys, this has been really emotional. I know. Honestly, I feel really tearful. I just want to say, like, wow, I thought this has been emotional. Thank you. And I felt the love, and I hope that all the listeners today have felt the love as well. And I just want to wish you both the best and the most amount of blessings on your journey from today forward. I hope, and I'm sure that you've touched someone's life today. They've been listening and they've taken some sort of action about maybe something they've felt that hasn't been right, or, you know, just investigating. Maybe there's something niggling them at the back of their mind. And also, I'm sure there's people out there that actually, they're sitting there, they're a single mum, and they're thinking, do you know what? These two women that have come today and spoke about their journey have given me the courage to get up out of my bed today, to think about my business, to think about what I can do tomorrow. Because I'm telling you now, there isn't anything in this world that you cannot do if you put your mind to it. And Louise Power here on the Power Hour with my guests here, Nadia Collett and Amanda Henry, we're here to tell you that anything is possible. So stay phenomenal, woman. You have been locked into the Power Hour with Louise Power. See you again, same time next week.
You have one new message.
Can you please help us? We are running out of food.
We have many requests like this on a daily basis.